Hey guys, and welcome back to Future of Golf. My name is Rob, and here you're watching the VRgolf Academy series. In this mini-series I explain you all the features, or some of the features, but in a very mathematical or kind of sciencey way. And in today's video I'm going to talk about the clubhead speed. How did the developers here implement the clubhead speed in this game compared to other golf games like Golf Plus, for example. And as well, how does it affect the accuracy and the distance. So yeah, if you want to know more about this, stay tuned, watch the video and enjoy it. Way too hard. Go in, go in. Yes! Oh my god. This was very, very important. In today's video I'm going to talk about the clubhead speed. And first thing you need to know is that in this virtual simulator here, the Golf Club VR, the clubhead speed is measured based on the club head, the travel of the club head, right? The club head is this thing here. Hopefully you know what the club head is. But anyway, and if I now swing it around here, like in a circle, right, it travels through the virtual world. And one thing you need to understand is that the further the club head is away from the center, like I'm the center that's swinging it, right, around me, and the further it is away, the more clubhead speed it will generate. And this is called the tangential velocity. I will quickly put a graphic out here to demonstrate this, what it shows. And you can see here on the graphic that if I would be in the center, and now the dotted line that you can see there would be my swing, and it kind of moves, right, to that solid line, you could say, that the closer the you can see that on the red line there, for example, that the red line is relatively short, and it only traveled a very short distance there compared to the blue line, where the blue line definitely traveled a further distance because it's further away from me, right? This means now, going back here into the game, that if now I would have a club, you can see that if I down grab here on my club or something and kind of make a driver swing, which is even ridiculous, but I try, you can see the distances are very, very short, like 70 miles, right? And try another one like this weird here, but I really try to hit it hard. You can see we get it to 83 miles. Now, maybe one more. We try to put a lot of power into it. There you go. So this is like 98 miles, right? But keep in mind it was probably going to be even on that island there, yeah. It's on a very, very short circle around me, and therefore the distance that this club head is traveling, it travels kind of way less distance. Now, if I'm gonna, let me put the ball here in the water, we kick it out here, hack it out of the sand, and now we're gonna make the same, and we put the ball here a little bit further. You can still see the ball here in my third person view, and I'm just gonna make a very similar swing now. And we can take a look at that club head speed, and it now went to 110 miles, right? To quickly go to that island, hack the ball out here into the water. When it hits the water, it resets here on this test island. Actually, let me do something real quick. We're gonna go to gameplay instead to casual. So then I will always shoot over that island for sure, because we have an extra 10%, 20% of power in this casual. But we are now looking only into these club head speeds, right? So I'm trying again now, making a relatively simple swing, maybe a little bit more, but 122 miles. So right, the first ones with this shorter one were like maybe 95-ish on average, or 90. These ones now 122, 112 I think, or whatever it was. Let's make one more. There you go, right? 110 miles. So here maybe the average is 115, you could say, if I make a relatively simple swing. And now, just to prove that concept, what we do is, we actually go to gameplay, and we change the controller offset here from 80 to 0. So what does it do here? Let's take a look. So we're going to pick up the driver, and now, it looks a little bit funny, but now I'm holding it on my handle here, but the controller, actually, you're supposed to play with the controller in this game, and that's why now you can see this is how it looks like, as if I'm holding a controller, but I have this handle, so I'm kind of getting maybe, I would say, like half a yard or so extra club length. Now I'm gonna put the ball a bit further back, so probably not gonna see it anymore. Yeah, and it looks very weird here what I'm doing, but anyway, you can see it in my first person view, right? It looks probably very funny. If I now make the same swing now that I just did all the times, let's see the average club head distance there. Of course, only if I hit it. It's very hard, like the accuracy gonna suffer quite a lot. Try to hit the ball that much further out. But oh my god, 150, yeah, 154, and it goes 307 yards, right? Complete day and night different from what we had. Let me make a few more swings here. Another one is 133. And this one started very high, had a lot of spin on it, and goes easily 280 yards. Let's make one more here. Okay, again, it's harder to hit now. There you go, I hit it, and it's 150 miles, and yeah, it goes 304 yards. Going back here, you see that huge swing arc right around me, and yeah, that's quite funny. Let me quickly go back here, gameplay, controller offset, and set it back to 80. Okay, there you go. And yeah, so this is a day and night difference, right? So now I have this way shorter club now again. And you could see that, let's say the averages were 95 with this very short one, 115, let's say, with this normal one that I have, and probably 145, 150 with the super long one. And I'm even playing, I can quickly show this here, with short club length, short shafts, right? So if you would set this too long, maybe have a custom club handle that is even longer, you probably could reach something like 180, 200 miles swing speed. And that's very, very interesting to know. Of course, it's not realistic at all, right? And I'm playing this game here in pro mode. I'm playing this to kind of practice my real-life golf swing. Quickly going to show you my real-life driver now and compare it to this one. Let me see. To get it, I'm going to take the driver out of the bag here, so there you go, right? So I'm going to try to stand here so that you can see it. So if I go with the driver now to the ground, you hear that it hits the ground, right? Let's say here, and then I try to hold them together. You see it's kind of the same length, right? So these two clubs have the same length. It might look a little bit different. We put this back here. It might look a little bit different, but they are the same length, in fact. And that's why I want to practice. And that's why I just want to know that in real life, I have these speeds of around 125, 130 maybe, maximum a club head speed. Maybe 135 sometimes if I really rip at it. But of course, my accuracy gets way off the further I increase my swing speed then. And it's, yeah, very, very cool to understand this. So now you have learned here that the accuracy suffers, of course, having a longer shaft, but the speed increases. And especially if you play in a beginner difficulty, amateur difficulty, or casual, you're gonna still be able to hit super, super far. And it's a lot of fun to goof around with it and maybe try to get this 350-yard drive, whatever it is you're looking for. But if you really, play it real, play with the pro difficulty, I really think that if you set it to pro and have the super long shaft, it's almost impossible to hit it and to have a shot that goes kind of down the center, right? Because it's one thing to hit it 300 yards, but the other, if you're like in the rough or somewhere out of bounds or whatever, it doesn't help you. Like, you want to really kind of hit it exactly where you're aiming, and therefore you kind of have to find the sweet spot, right? To have the perfect shaft length as well as the kind of perfect swing speed and all these things combined. Now, if you compare this game here with this, what the developers made, having the 1-to-1 ratio of the club head speed compared to real life, especially in the beginner difficulty, because there you don't have any power boost, right? In the casual, you have the extra 20%. I quickly show this here. Casual has extra 20, amateur extra 10%, and pro has a minus 10% based on how you hit it. But as well, you can get it to the 100% that the beginner difficulty has as well. And therefore, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and it's very, very nice to kind of see that actually the swings here in the game have the same swing speed, and as well then I mean, not really the distance that you have in real life golf, because there a lot of more factors come into it, like the spin and all these kind of things, like what kind of driver you have, right, the technology of the driver, and so on and so forth. But still, you want to kind of play something that is realistic. At least I want to do this, and not play this arcade game. And speaking of arcade games, let's talk about Golf Plus. Because probably a lot of you guys play Golf Plus or have played it and tested it. And of course, you cannot compare it all with a simulator like this. Golf Plus is like an arcade game. And the downside there is that the developers in Golf Plus have unfortunately made the speed, the clubhead speed, coming from the controller, right? From the controller rotation, with other words. And this means that in Golf Plus you could just stand over the driver and kind of flick your wrist with the controller and hand, make something like this. Oh, I even lost it. But the ball would go like 300 yards, right? Just kind of flicking the controller a little bit. While here you really have to kind of generate clubhead speed. So what's the conclusion now? Well, you have seen that more clubhead speed definitely as well means more distance, or easier to get this distance, right? To have this above 300 yard drives in casual. It's only really possible if you have like, I mean, you can take the longest shafts here, right? If you go to gameplay and you make the club length here, I have it set even too short, right? So if you make this too long and you make your offset maybe a little bit, like lower, you're kind of cheating around. It's not like legal, so to speak, to use clubs like that in real life. But if you just want to goof around and have some like really long drives, why not do it? And for me though, I just want to keep it very realistic, and I want to kind of translate from this like virtual reality game to my real life golf game, and kind of see how close it can get, how realistic it can get. And that's very, very interesting. At least I hope you as well liked the video. And wish you a nice day, and see you soon. Ciao, ciao.